Someone made a box and left it here for, you know, for buddies to enjoy fetching instead of having to go somewhere else to hunt down a stick for throwing them. But that was kind of a cool little idea someone decided to come up with there. Where am I at right now? We back in Casper in this Windy City area, enjoying the dog park with Havoc right now. He's down by the riverside getting himself a nice needed drink, as well deserved, considering yesterday he was heavily sedated to get 2 more teeth pulled, and he was at the hospital pretty much all day long. Truth to be told, I actually floated down this river earlier this week. That video is to be shared at a later date. However, what I am here to share today is the part 2 segment of honestly having to give up my fish hobby. And yeah, this part 2 is a little bit more personal to me than the first one, due to the fact that it is my Hydroponics Aquaponics Pondarium I'm having to give up. And yes, it really did hit me on a personal level at first, but I've had time to adjust. Havoc's just out here getting all these smells and meeting other friends right now at the moment too. Yeah, with the way Havoc's acting, you wouldn't have believed. Once again, he was in surgery yesterday. Supposed to be on pain meds today. We'll see about that, depending on his actions, you know. But right now, he's just frolicking like he's a puppy. So yeah, I've had plenty of time to adjust since the, you know, having to give them all up. You know, I was able to pick up Sarah and hold her for the first time since she got that big, helping putting her in a, you know, cooler to get ready for the travel along with the rest of them too. But you know, she was the star of the whole pond there, at least in my eyes. And yeah, she was big. And as far as I know, they're still doing good. All of them made it. They're safe and healthy. What this is all about is the part 2 to having to give up the fish hobby. I didn't ask for any money or anything. I gave them everything I had, and I had a total of 17 tanks, equipment that go along with them, test kits, extra plants, filters, pumps, you name it. You know, I didn't need all of it, so yeah, I passed it on to this personal couple that do their own rescue, and they dealt with everything from snakes, reptiles, amphibians, fish, and you know, 4-legged creatures like cats and dogs. So I was happy to pass it on and let them continue. Like he was saying, he wanted to continue the legacy of my pondarium. So he took it and set it up just like the way it was. You know, the only thing is, I think the plants are set up a backwards direction, but other than that, the whole system is running exactly the same. So they're back in their comfort home. And will continue to grow, and hopefully I'll be able to see them around November. That was kind of the planned date that I had agreed on with this couple, to see how they're doing and maybe even get a couple of extra shots in there of other things that they have, like their chameleon snakes and whatnot. We'll see. So after giving a nice long-winded intro, we're going to go ahead and cut this short. So once again, you know the deal. As always, stick around and enjoy the show. Woo! And yes, this is still the pondarium, still here, still going good. It is thriving once again, always. Just like the guppy tank in there, the pondarium is just flourishing. Nothing is going wrong with it one bit. But it has to go. I mean, when they came in and did an inspection, if they didn't understand it, they freaked out. So that's pretty much the moral of the story. And you know, to most people, this would freak them out. So, you know, it is what it is. I've done what I could, but they are obviously going to go to a really good home. I like the guy that is taking them. We actually have a connection through friends and family of this town. So that's the basis on this situation right here. He's just going to take everything I own, including the rest of the minnow farm, equipment, you name it. I'm just, you know, I'm handing it over. I ain't trying to get a single dime out of anything, you know. And he's so excited, and I'm excited for him. Yeah, the glass in this one could use just a little bit of a cleaning, but nothing bad. Once again, you can still see through it. I have not touched this in such a long time as far as cleaning it at the moment, because whenever I got word about a little over a month ago, you know, I just, you know, my heart was not in a lot of ways wanting to continue, other than making sure she stayed healthy. And, you know, even though the glass has got a little bit of a grit on it, the freaking tank, the pond, is healthy as can be, and the fish are loving it still. There's Sarah right there. Golly, she's a big fish. Let's turn on some lights. There we go. Yeah, you can take a look down inside here. If you notice, I ended up getting a lot more mussels in the mail. They were shipped wrong though. I'm not going to get into that because it really doesn't matter anymore. However, some of them are still alive, which is a good thing. You know, some did not make it, but I ended up getting a second shipment of the mussels for honestly nothing but paying for shippings, even though they showed up with no water in the bag after the, you know, initial start. But I don't need to worry about it. Just figured I'd just tell that little bit of it, and got them in here, and you know, most of them survived, so that's a good plus on the mussels there. I know I don't talk about her much, but I did have a loaner in this pondarium, which was a veil-tailed red molly, and her name was Miss Molly. She was a rescue. I ended up getting her and a bunch of other fish from somebody that had to move out of town. They gave me everything, and she honestly just passed away about 3 days ago, right before this move, which was honestly a good thing on her part, because she was so old. I honestly thought she was gonna die a month ago. She just laid around in the tank. I knew there was nothing wrong with her other than just age was catching up on her. But with this system that I have here, you know, was able to give her another whole month. And 2 days ago, when I came in here to feed, I just saw her laying at the bottom, motionless. I was able to grab my tongs right here that I use for fish cubes and grip her, pick her up. She didn't even move through all that. The moment I stuck her in my hand, though, I saw her gills slightly moving and her, you know, her mouth move just a tad. I ended up having to do the rest to help get her past, if you know what I mean. But yeah, you know, she was able to live an extra month in this pondarium, which obviously kept her healthy and going for another whole month, which every day I was just waiting to see her, you know, lay up here on the side. But, you know, she had her best places that she liked to go and sit. This little corner right here, she liked to come up here and lay. A couple of the little lips right here on the tank, she would just lay on the lip side and just sit there, you know, and enjoy her time. And I actually had a dog that was very similar to the way that she was acting whenever her time was coming. You know, we would thought that dog was going to pass away every day, and she ended up living for another 5 years on top of the moment that we figured she was done. But once again, here's the pondarium. Here's my fish. There's Chub Chub. You know, there's Spot, which is my blue Oranda. Chub Chub is the black Moor. And then I have my fantails. I've got 5 of them. I got Sherry, Barry, Larry, and Carrie. And then I also have Lunchbox, which is my dwarf fantail goldfish in here. I've got videos of him as well. And Freddy is my Ryukin in here. He was a red and white, but he's going through a color phase like blue. He kind of looks like a little fat golf ball over there in that corner with a red tail. And yeah, I figured we'll do a quick 1 cube feeding because I don't want to do much more. Like I said, they're getting ready to go for a movement, but we're going to get them up here and look at them one more time as well, like we did the guppy tank, and share that tidbit. Besides all that, I figured we can go ahead and show off the beautiful plants once again. Nothing has died off since I have fixed it back up again, and that's a good thing. You know, you don't need them dying because they do help with the fish pond as well. So you know, they're supposed to help each other. Once again, a complete circle ecosystem rolling on here inside the living room. So let's get at it. Right here in this corner, we start off with a golden pothos, and next to it is just a regular pothos. Let's say it right. The correct term is pothos. Here's a golden pothos, and then here's my neon pothos, and here is this ivy plant. Once again, still growing, still doing its thing. Next to it, we have a lemon lime philodendron. Yes. And then next to that, we just have a regular philodendron. And next to that, it ain't much to show, but she's still growing, and she was actually coming back strong, was my silver pothos. You can see the extra little piece there. She actually has a good long tentacle going off of her. So there's that. And this one that came back really strong, my philodendron Brazil. Beautiful plant. I'm happy that it actually started coming back. And she has a nice long tentacle coming off of her, going straight across the top of this pondarium, right over here toward the window, which I actually open up the window every day, the curtain. Let's go on to the next one. We just have another regular pothos here, and this one is just, I mean, look at the petals, or look at the leaves on this pothos. Look how huge they are. That one there on top next to the heart is honestly probably the exact same size, almost as my hand spread out. With my fingers closed, I'd say yes. And then right next to that, we have the golden pothos again. And the tentacles off of that one is going all the way down and wraps around to this side and goes all the way around to the front of the pondarium. Yes, I am proud of my accomplishment here, and I'm okay with passing it on the way it is. You know, I'd rather have to give up the hobby at this moment this way than another situation that occurs in my life. You know, say this whole system failed and I wanted to give up, you know, but it's not that. You know, I'm proud to be passing this on to the person that I'm handing it off to. And that's where we're at on that. You can tell they know I'm talking, so they're starting to gather in certain areas, waiting for me to hand off something to them, which, like I said, I'm at least going to put 1 cube in here. It's not going to hurt for, you know, feeding their bellies. You know, usually you're not supposed to feed them if you're going to put them through transport due to stress, but they'll be okay. Any situations go on, like I said, I've got at least the mussels to go with them to help clean up any, you know, problems in their transport, which shouldn't be a problem at all for anything. Now, let's see if I could actually remember everything I have in here to give you a heads up. All right, dealing with my mussels, I've got 3 different species in here. I've got Mississippi Blues, I believe. A couple of them are just a basic freshwater Florida mussel, I don't know the term to. And I have a few freshwater clams. That's pretty much the species of mussels I have in here. I have albino placosimus sitting right there. It's a little white thing, just motionless. I have a regular one in here. They're both dwarfs. Let's see here. I have Corridoras, some ambers, and a couple of speckled Corridoras down up in here. I've got 2 Coolie Loaches, which you never end up seeing them anywhere. There might be some ghost shrimp still surviving in this system. I wouldn't doubt it, because I've seen them, or I've seen 1 or 2 here and there, but it's been months since I've seen them. But the last time I thought they were gone, you know, they showed up back in my face like 4 months later. So who knows? If they're not down here, they might be up there in the gutter system. I'm not 100% sure on that. And if they do come down, well, you know who gets to eat them. Sitting right here in front of me. Let's see here. I have a dwarf Guarmy in here. His name is Dwarfy, just because. And he's been part of the whole rescue as well. And I've got a few smaller ones like that white one right there. Long fin zebra danios and a regular zebra danios up in here. I had a bunch of them, but they ended up fighting each other to the death through breeding, to where the strong only survived. And I think I got about 3 or 4 of them. I do have a little guppy in here, which I ended up culling out of this group in there. It's got kind of a dismembered back, or broke back is what I call it. And I was actually hand training it at one time. I was scooping them up with my hand, and I'd take him from this side and I put him back over in that side. He'd just swim right back over, and I'd scoop him up again and I put him back over there. I also was working with a couple of the zebra danios on certain issues. You know, they were coming up and pecking at the dead skin on my fingers. So it was kind of cool on the interactions that I was beginning to do with the fish in here. But yeah, like I said, once plans have to change, you know, I ended up just pulling back a little bit, because, you know, it does hurt. Oh, there's broke back. I guess it heard me talk. And there it goes right there. So that's the deal on that situation. Once again, this is a no water change system. All I do is add water. I got gallons sitting right there. I add it as needed. You know, once it gets down past that little lip that I have here on the calcium buildup around the tank top, which is the bottom, I just add some more so it doesn't gather any air or suck air up into the pondarium side itself. And yeah, I'm not sure what else to say on this, other than I'm very happy with my creation. And I plan to do it again if I have the chance, but it won't be at this home. And the next time I do something, my brain has got it set up to where I plan to make it to where I can swim in it. And that's a fact. And once again, if you set your mind to it, you can do it. Because, I mean, look at this damn thing. If nobody else gives me a pat on my back, I'm definitely going to do it for myself, you know. And this whole creation, I made it for transport, you know, not for permanent. Everything here is honestly designed to come apart easily so you can transport it to the next place, because this is a rental home. And you know, if we were going to get something more permanent, this was definitely going with me. But that's not in the books right now, and that's okay. We're going to do a nice little gathering montage as well with the pondarium, like we did the guppy tank in there. And I'm going to just clean off the front part of this tank a little bit with the magnet scrubby right there on the side. And we're going to start doing a little something. Yep, this is what it looks like now with her gone. And yeah, I've had time to adjust. You know, I mean, who wouldn't after doing something like this, you know, and feeling proud. So that's pretty much the end of, you know, the fish hobby at this moment in life. And who knows, we'll see. Maybe it will be in the later future. If it doesn't, once again, I'm still happy with what I accomplished. And yep. We still got Mr. Puppy. That's definitely a plus right there, you know. Yeah, we did have a scare. We actually had a couple of scares. He had to go back and get some more work done in his mouth. And another reevaluation after the vet doctors talking with each other. So put us through another little bit of a scare. Long story short, after 4 other doctors in this other vet hospital looked, they didn't find anything. Yeah. So other than being out more money than we should have, which, you know, that happens in everybody's life one way or another, he's good to go at this moment. And, you know, I've got nothing to complain about right there. Ain't that right, Mr. Puppy? Yeah. See, he's drooling a little bit right there. Like I said, he just had that work done a few days ago. We'll get into that on a later video. And, yeah. That's where we're at on that. And we'll catch you in the next flip-flop.